green and purple tag on, so sort of popping around at the back of the corner. Next to the room. Yeah, shut that, and then we'll pop up to the pool then to start off with. And they'll follow me, hopefully. Right, good afternoon everybody and welcome to Birdland. Nice to see the penguins know exactly what the time is, and it's always nice to feel popular. The bad news is when we all walk down here, we always start feeling kind of in the water, so we're going to get them swimming for about 5 or 10 minutes, then we'll come down and do some hand feeding. And we've got Suzanne having a big penguin today. It's actually her birthday today, so I'm sure you'll all join me in wishing her a very happy birthday. We won't sing at you, Suzanne, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with 5 or 10 minutes up to the pool, then we'll come down and do some hand feeding, and just going to tell you a little bit about penguins in general, and more importantly we'll introduce you to some of our penguins here at Birdland as well.
There's a crippled one there.
Oh yeah, he's got trouble to walk. Yeah.
He's going to be last fed then poor soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, his foot's quite swollen. I saw it just now.
That one's fine though. Yeah, he's fine on feet, just going to say hello today.
He said, I'll get any fish, I'll have a glove.
Right.
Yeah, he's got a problem, isn't that one?
We just walk on through up here and then through around.
Probably fine in water, but just
There's a penguin in there. You alright, Pete?
yeah. We'll wait for him to come back. We're not going to get much more in today.
No.
Unless I was in tomorrow then was gone, maybe first thing in the morning. Why don't we go to Bourton in the morning? And do that one, come back here, go in the plant pot and finish off here tomorrow and then go home.
Yeah, what is it doing much more than
No.
Just
No, because then come back. We can come back and go in.
Right then, folks. Well, before I start telling you about penguins, I'm just going to start off with an apology and a couple of warnings. The apology is just if the grey heron comes down, so he's going to try and steal fish, and I've got to try and stop him. So if you see me running around chasing the bird off, we don't want to eat big fish because it costs us a lot to feed these penguins, and he could eat a baby penguin as a result. The apology, just in case anyone gets splashed by the penguins, if you're in front of the window, you are very much in the splash zone, so it's prepared to get wet. And also, if you see me push Lily in the pool, there's only so many pecks on the side of the leg I can take before she goes in. So you figured out the best way to get Betty to peck me. She pecks me on the same spot every day for the last 2.5 months, so I've got quite a sore spot now. So if she pecks me too many times, she is going to go in for a swim. So she has been warned. But anyway, the first thing to tell you all about penguins is there are 17 different types of penguins, and all 17 species are found only in the southern hemisphere. And that just means you find penguins living as far south as the Antarctic, but you'll also find penguins as far north as the Galapagos Islands, which is just south of the equator. Now, most people imagine penguins living in cold, snowy environments, and that is true for most types of penguins, but it's not necessarily the case for them all. So, you can find penguins in warm places such as Australia and New Zealand. You can find them on the coastlines of South Africa and South America. And you can even find penguins on the Galapagos Islands right on the equator. And you certainly don't see much snow or ice in that part of the world. And in terms of their size, most penguins will only stand at around 1.5 foot tall and will weigh around about 3 to 5 kilos. So just like the Humboldt penguin in front of the sun at the moment. And a lot of people come to Birdland, look at those little guys, take a look at our big penguins, and assume these smaller Humboldts are chicks. Now, that's not the case at all. To say most penguins are that size and shape, and one of our Humboldt penguins is 20 years old, so it's certainly not a baby by any stretch of the imagination. It's only really the king penguins that we'll talk about a bit later on, and the emperor penguins that are only larger, And the actually the world's biggest penguin, they're the ones that you'll see on Happy Feet, Planet Earth, and Frozen Planet Mars and penguins as well. And it's very hard to imagine watching them on the TV, but the largest gentleman penguin on record was around about 4.5 feet tall, and it weighs 50 kilos. So they have to be big, they have to be bulky. They're the guys that nest near the South Pole, where it's minus 25 degrees. So if they're not tall and fat, they won't survive the cold weather at all.
They're so proud, aren't they?
And right now, here at Birdland, we've got 27 penguins in our group, and it's 2 different types of penguins. And we'll start off with these smaller penguins, the Humboldts. And the Humboldts can be found in the wild along the coastlines of Chile and Peru. So if you ever hear of a Peruvian penguin, it is in fact the Humboldt penguin. And they're very common in zoos. You'll find them in lots of zoos around the UK and throughout the whole of Europe. But unfortunately, they are one of the world's rarest types of penguin. There's an estimated 18,000 of them in the wild. But their numbers are dropping every year because of the destruction of the nest sites and overfishing. And so they're now listed as threatened. And the big problem they've got is even though 18,000 penguins sounds a large number, they're only found on one long stretch of coastline. So should there be a big earthquake or a big oil slick, then the Humboldts will be in huge trouble. So our group here are part of the European-wide breeding programme, just to boost the numbers back up. And obviously to get them breeding, we do need to have male and female penguins. And one of the most commonly asked questions that we get is how do you tell the difference between a male and a female? And the honest truth is it's very difficult. There's no colour difference like you'll find in a pheasant or with a duck. There's no real size and shape difference. Usually with the kings you can see the girls are small and skinny like Lily is just there. And the boys tend to be a little bit podgier like Spike and Nils you see in front of you right now. And we used to go on size and shape of the Humboldt penguin and say that again males were tall and fat and females were small and skinny. And then this year we've had 2 big fat male penguins produce 2 eggs. And obviously you need a female in the process somewhere for that to happen. So they are very difficult to set. So what we're going to start doing from next year, and we already do this with a lot of other birds in the park anyway, we're going to do a DNA test on our birds to work out whether it's male or female. And that just involves taking a few feathers off the penguin and sending them off to the lab for a blood test. And that will tell us for definite whether we have male or female penguins. And right now, we do have Humboldt penguins on eggs. It is that time of year when they are starting to nest build. And out in the wild, the Humboldts will find themselves a cave or a burrow to nest in, and they'll nest using leaves, twigs and feathers. Here we don't have burrows in the enclosure, so we build our penguins nest boxes. So you see we've got 3 boxes down at the bottom end. They've ignored all 3 of those boxes this year, and they've concentrated their efforts on the boxes that we've got at the top end. And so we've had a lot of nest building going on, and about 2 weeks ago, we checked one of the nests, and Sean and Billy have got 2 of those tucked away. Now, that's an egg from earlier this year that didn't hatch out, and unfortunately, Sean is just in front of Suzanne at the moment, and his girlfriend Billy, we don't hold out much hope for them, because the oldest Humboldt penguin in the wild is 10 years of age. Millie, the female, is 12 this year, and Sean is 20. So we doubt that the eggs are going to be any good. Sean's never had fertile eggs for the last 10 years, and he's tried every year. But unrealistic, it's not very realistic that they're going to hatch. But we're going to leave them to see what happens. They'll incubate those for around 36 to 42 days. And if we are successful, hopefully at the end of that, we'll end up with 2 Humboldt penguin chicks. And the last 6 born here weighed 75 grams and was a little bit smaller than that lot. So they're absolutely helpless at that sort of size today. You won't see the chicks leave the nest straight away because they can't fend for themselves. Particularly when you consider that mum and dad are eating fish around that sort of size, the chicks aren't going to look after themselves at all. So the chicks are tucked away in the nest box for 50 or 3 months. Mum and dad just regurgitate food for them during that time. And once the chicks leave at 3 months of age, they are full grown. They can swim straight away, but they're lousy at catching fish. So they do rely on mum and dad to keep feeding them some while yet. And if we're going to breed Humboldts here, most important thing that I've got to be able to do as their keepers, I must be able to recognise who my penguins